Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. It's that time again. Bitcoin Brandon here, early morning crypto talk. What day is today? Thursday. Thursday morning. Oh, I'm doing a presentation tonight. What's going on, Seferino? Jonathan? Good morning, Deborah. Shauna, Shane West, Imelda, Benita, Kathy, Mr. Ross, Anthony Pinkston, Darnell from the OKC. Welcome, welcome. We're going to get started in a moment. The week is almost over, first week of May. And as a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be dispensing financial advice. I read the news, share my opinion, give suggestions, and it is up to you to make an informed, adult, intelligent decision. There are four rules I live by in the crypto space. Number one, education is the key. Without education, you are in for a very expensive lesson. Number two, never invest money you cannot afford to lose. Never. Number three, always get your return on investment as fast as possible. And finally, number four, what is your game plan? Where do you see yourself 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What are you doing to make it happen? Don't get distracted. There's a lot of different things in this space that can get you off target. Understand you have limited resources and limited time. You cannot be a part of everything. This is a $400 billion market, soon to be a $4 trillion market. So there's opportunity all over the place. You got to stay disciplined and stay focused. Now, following these rules does not guarantee success, but it will limit your risk. And that's the most that you can ask for. All right, let's go ahead and get started with a couple of articles this morning. And I'm going to start with the negative and then have a bunch of articles after that proves this guy wrong. I got to go back to, and I shared this, was it last night's? Did I do a late night crypto talk last night or yesterday morning? Business partner of mine named Mike Hagan said, if you are speaking negative about cryptocurrency and blockchain right now, and you haven't done any research on it, you're just ignorant. And that's okay. You just don't know what you're talking about. However, if you have done your research in detail and you still claim Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and blockchain technology as a negative, then you're just plain stupid and on the wrong side of history. So let's see what this guy, let me copy the link, what this guy has to say. And he says, Bitcoin is bullshit, says Dr. Doom. Wow, that's a real term to use to describe Bitcoin. Nouriel Roubini in latest crypto rants, which means it's not his first. So Nouriel Roubini has doubled down on his long-standing hatred. Man, what you hating for, man? What did Bitcoin do to you? Why are you hating on it so much? His long-standing hatred for Bitcoin, ranting this week that the flagship cryptocurrency is bullshit and that blockchain technology is not much more valuable. Really? You've got entire governments banking their future on this, but he says it's not valuable. Roubini, who participated in a panel discussion on cryptocurrencies at the annual Milken Institute Global Conference in Los Angeles, unleashed a verbal assault on Bitcoin that will not be soon forgotten. You know what these guys fail to realize? And I'm always mindful of this before I open my mouth, that social media, the internet, records everything you say. And it's never going away, even if you think you deleted something. So I'm always mindful of what I say, because my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren one day will see these words. And if you're going to come out on a long, elongated rant and double down on how cryptocurrency you think is a fraud, how's history going to look on you 15, 20 years from now? Yeah, my granddad was on the wrong side of history. That's why we're broke. Sometimes it's best to keep the comment to yourself. Sometimes. All right, so he says, and I quote, "There is no decentralization." Wrong. "It's just bullshit," Rubini said, adding that a blockchain is just a glorified Excel spreadsheet. So, either he is ignorant and doesn't understand what's going on, and doesn't understand the technology, or he has an agenda. Because I don't think he's stupid. I think he has an agenda. What that agenda is has not been revealed just yet. Maybe it is maintaining the status quo. Who's financing him? Who's backing him? Where are his, motivations and goals? So the panel, which also featured industry executives such as Abra CEO Bill Barheit, was titled "Cryptocurrencies: Irrational Exuberance or Brave New World?" And there was little doubt about Rubini's opinion on the matter. According to another account, the New York University economist, he is a New York University economist, who earned the nickname Dr. Doom for anticipating the financial crisis a decade ago, repeated that colorful epithet at least 3 more times as his fellow panelist returned fire. "Everything you just said is irrelevant," shot back Alex Mashinsky. Hey, I met him, CEO of Celsius Network, who also challenged Rubini to buy one coin and then tell us how it works. This guy, if you've been listening to my Facebook Live since I've come back from London, I've been quoting Alex Mashinsky because he was the most impressive to me out of everybody at the Blockchain Expo. Not for what he's doing, but how he's doing it in his approach. I can care less about Celsius and lending and whatever it is that they're doing. But how he approached it impressed me, and what he said about blockchain technology and the future of it impressed me. So, and he's a multimillionaire as well. So, he made his money before crypto in helping companies raise funds for them IPOs and stuff like that. So I was impressed with him. Remember that name, Alex Mashinsky. So basically he's calling Rubini out by saying, you have no skin in the game. Buy a Bitcoin and tell us how it works. Then another guy says, "I don't even know where to begin," added Barheit. "It's like a horse salesman saying we don't need combustion engines." I like that one. That goes back to like Warren Buffett. The one thing I respect Warren Buffett on the crypto space is he admitted, "I don't invest in something I don't understand, and I don't understand cryptocurrency." I respect that. At least admit you don't understand or know what it is. But it goes back to J.P. Morgan's father. His father was completely against J.P. Morgan investing in Thomas Edison and electricity. Completely against it. He called it speculative. So it's the same thing. It's like you're arguing against progression to maintain the status quo. Rubini decried Bitcoin as a bubble, a refrain he has repeated since 2014. What? Dude, you've been saying this since 2014. When was the last time a bubble that has bursted filled itself right back up? Have you guys ever popped a needle on a bubble on a balloon? Has that balloon filled itself right back up and healed the crack? No. He's been saying this since 2014 and is still here, arguing that Bitcoin investors, particularly those who invested while it was trading near its all-time high, are suckers. In the past, he has referred to Bitcoin enthusiasts as hodl nuts and cyber terrorists. Really? You're going that far? As well as a variety of other not so affectionate nicknames. Eventually, the session moderator was forced to call a timeout as the panel, which was held alongside a much less colorful interview with Paul Ryan, Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, descended into a shouting match that one journalist in attendance described as a crypto brawl. Oh, I would love to have been there for that one. It's like when Vitalik Buterin called out Craig Wright. You got the internet nerds going to battle with each other. That's a funny sight to see. Crypto brawl. Where this all goes, I don't think anyone knows, said Brett McIntosh, a U.S. Treasury official who also participated in the panel. I may need to step in and regulate this panel. Oh, ha, ha, ha. That's an inside joke with that one, huh? All right. Let's see if the next articles I read prove Rubini wrong. Okay. So let's close that one out. And excuse me, I am still recovering. This thing is lingering on me. All right. Ethereum price will reach $15,000 this year, says the Reddit co-founder. 15K? Are you serious? Bitcoin's not even at 15K right now. Let me go to CoinMarketCap. And we're going to take a quick look at the market right now. CoinMarketCap.com. All right, we've got Bitcoin at $9,400. It is on a skyrocketing rise right now at the moment. Ethereum is at $751 and is up 10%. So, according to this prediction, this is May. We're in May now. June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Within the next 7 months, he's predicting Ethereum to go from 700 to 15K. Do you know that's a bigger jump in 7 months than Bitcoin made when Bitcoin was at $700 around November 2016? 7 months later, you jump to June, July of 2017, and Bitcoin price was around what? $3,000? $2,000? Maybe less around that time. So that is a huge, I got to go check my Ethereum balances again. Huge, huge jump. Let's see why he says so. Let me make sure that I posted the link. Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian said that he predicts the Ethereum price will reach $15,000 in 2018. $15,000. While I'm doing this, I'm checking my Ethereum wallet. Why not? I want to buy a couple more coins. All right, let me go back. Rocketing its market cap into the trillions of dollars and enabling it to surpass Bitcoin as the world's largest cryptocurrency. Bitcoin darker. Yeah, let me go back to that. Let me see if I spot the pump and dumps. Let's see. All right. We've got IOTA is up 21%. Skyrocketing. Let's see. Cardano's up 1.1%. ETN, guys, went up a cent. It's like 3 cents now. Those of you following Electronium. Let's see. We've got Nano up 18%, Bitcoin 25%, Ontology 17%, Aux 10%, Golem 28%, 8 shares 16.9%, Augur 13%. Let's see, Komodo 12%, Nebulous 14%, Loom Network. All right, this might be a pump and dump right here. Is up 49.34% in the last 24 hours. No apparent reason why. Yeah, Bitcoin Dark. And then up 133%, and now it's leveling off. Looks like it's about to dump itself. 133% over the last 24 hours. Pump and dump. Congratulations, Mr. Ross. That's called education right there. He's able to look at the chart, read it, and make a calculated assessment here. That's what education will do for you. Electronium, though, was up 32%. That's nothing to sneeze at. Still only at 3 cents, but hey, those of you holding on to Electronium. And it is number 95 on the market cap. All right, keep a close eye on Electronium. Those of you that's been holding a long time, don't even think about selling until it reaches at least double digits. As an income disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor to even be saying so. I'm just, sharing my opinion. All right, let's go back to the article about Ethereum reaching 15K this year. Let's see. Ohanian, who now works full-time at Initialized Capital, a venture capital firm co-founded in 2012, made this bullish Ethereum price prediction during an interview with Fortune, explaining that he believes this project has more long-term potential than any other currently existent cryptocurrency. I still hold a little of Bitcoin, and I think it has such mind share that it will continue to be a store of value. I agree with that statement. I'm most bullish about Ethereum, simply because people are actually building on it. He said, predicting later that at the end of the year, Bitcoin will be at 20K and Ethereum will be at 15K. 15K. That is nothing to sneeze at. That is a huge, huge deal. Let's continue. Great, now people can call me out if I'm wrong, he added. Under this forecast, Ethereum would roar to a $1.5 trillion market cap, up from $67 billion in just 7 short months, while Bitcoin would recover back to the all-time high it set last December, bringing its market cap to approximately $340 billion. Okay, let's look at the current. Bitcoin current market cap is 160 billion. Ethereum is 74 billion. I mean, really, dude? You really think it's going to jump from 74 billion to 1.3 trillion in 7 months? Yeah, I know it had a 10% raise today, but really? Just because you might want to buy some Ethereum right now. Because what if he's right? But what if he's wrong? If he fails his prediction by 90%, all right? Let's say he's 90% wrong. Then that's still about a $2,000 coin. When it's worth $700 right now. Oh, I like my Ethereum wallet right now. I like that. I'm going to have to add to that. All right, let's continue. Let's see. Elsewhere in the interview, Ohanian said that Initialized, which has already invested in cryptocurrency industry giant Coinbase, has determined to make blockchain-related investments a particular focus of its efforts in 2018, and that it believes the technology will lay the foundation for a new internet. A new internet, huh? Quoted, he says, last year, it was all about AI and machine learning. This year, it's all about blockchain. Most of it is just hype and BS, just like how it was with AI and ML. He said, most of the really vital protocol level basic infrastructure around software and blockchain will need to get built in the next year or two for us to really see the Web 3.0 we're really hoping for. Now, if you guys have never heard of Web 3.0, basically it's the blockchain. Where Web 2.0 right now, where we went from AOL dial-up to high-speed internet, which is Web 2.0 right now, it's just a transfer of information. They call it the information age. Internet 3.0 is going to be the transfer of ownership, and it's going to be tracked by blockchain technology, and it's going to be so super encrypted. Something that you might have heard of called what's that word? Good grief. I can't remember the term for it, where it's like fingerprint and facial recognition, maybe even voice recognition, that kind of, it's called biometrics or something like that, is going to be tied into it. So the new internet is going to be transfer of ownership, not just information. And that is going to be huge. That's what the blockchain is. All right. These are the types of things I think will build the foundation for a very different, much better internet, he concluded. I was a kid in the 90s without much leverage when the first internet was being built. So I see this as a hell of an opportunity. We're still figuring it out. We still don't have a Netscape, but it's coming. Thank you, Jason. Biometrics. Now, what's interesting about this statement is one thing he is correct about. Bitcoin is still being used as a store of value with 90% of the people and 90% of the industry. Its spin-offs like Bitcoin Cash and any other forks that's coming later this year is supposed to take Bitcoin in a direction that can be used more as a day-to-day currency rather than a store of value. However, Ethereum is the one that has all of the ICOs are being based on Ethereum, not Bitcoin. All of the new technology, all of the foundation is on the ERC20 type tokens. So I can kind of see what he's saying here, which is why I'm going to put more focus as far as my future investments now on the Ethereum and any coins that's attached to that. So I learned something new from here for myself financially. I'm going to pay attention to. All right, next article. Bitcoin is not used by organized crime, says Hong Kong government. What is the, I haven't said this in a long time. I was really big on this in 2017. But I said, when you have something new that takes place, what does the government or anyone in control do? Number one, they criminalize it. They criminalize it. Number two, they ban it. And then number three, when all else fails, they co-opt it and attempt to regulate and tax it to death. That's the Ronald Reagan way. Regulate and tax it to death. So now it's being proved that Bitcoin is not being used by organized crime. That shouldn't even be the number one focus of governments and agencies looking to protect consumers. Because still 99% of all criminal activity is being used with US dollars. Not Bitcoin. So let's see what the Hong Kong government has to say. Bitcoin is often accused by regulators, governments, and central bankers as being a tool for money laundering by criminal organizations, usually without presenting any evidence. A new report from Hong Kong, a major international financial hub and nexus for trade between China and the whole world, spells this out clearly. The whole world. The government of Hong Kong has published on Monday its 2018 Money Laundering and Terrorist Financing Risk Assessment Report. The paper examines threats and vulnerabilities facing the city with regards to the recommendation of the Financial Action Task Force, the intergovernmental body that sets international standards on combating ML and TF. Addressing the issue of Bitcoin, the report reveals that Hong Kong police force monitoring indicates no apparent sign of organized crime or MLTF concerning the trading of cryptocurrencies. Moreover, investigations and intelligence do not suggest cryptocurrencies were used or intended to be used in any other prevalent predicate offenses, e.g., drugs, durable goods, smuggling, or terrorist financing. The threat level is low. The government did find, however, that cryptocurrencies have been used as a pretext in Ponzi schemes or as payments for cyber criminals, mostly blackmailers, using ransomware. So the next time you hear any government official or bank entity run their mouth talking about, oh, Bitcoin is just used for crime, you can tell them to shut up. They don't know what they're talking about. This is why education is so important. Don't believe the first thing you see on TV, or just because somebody of an official title next to their name says something makes it so. No, challenge them on it. That's what Cryptogenics is here for. We are here to give you that basic education so that you know to navigate through BS, what's real and what's false. One thing about the Blockchain Expo, 50% of all those ICOs were BS. Half the people in the room didn't even understand blockchain technology. And this is the Blockchain Expo. And if you challenge, you go up to any of the booths and you start asking them questions. And when you start getting them off script, they're clueless. Clueless. They have no idea. They're only reading the script for their, or know their company project. That's it. We are the internet 1992-93 right now in this space. So consider yourselves lucky. If you've ever been, man, I wish I was there at the beginning. You're there right now. What are you going to do with it? First, people ask me all the time, Brandon, I want to get into the crypto thing. What's the first thing I should do? Get educated. No. I got $50,000. What coin should I buy? Get educated. Take $300 and sign up with Cryptogenics. That's my advice. Why? Because the education you get is priceless. The knowledge that you learn is going to save you $200,000 to $300,000 down the road. If not more. It's priceless. I felt like freaking Einstein at the Blockchain Expo in a room full of people who are supposed to know what they're doing. Why? Because I went through crypto education first. Let me continue. Not a threat to free economies. Interestingly, here's another important thing, because you see the government and bankers will declare that Bitcoin is a threat to the economy. Interestingly, the report also explains why the use of Bitcoin should not be seen as a threat to governments that don't try to limit the financial freedom of its citizens. Hong Kong is one of the world's freest economies with a vibrant foreign currency exchange market and no capital controls. Cryptocurrencies are therefore not as attractive as in economies where people may try to circumvent currency controls or seek refuge from a high inflation rate like Venezuela, Zimbabwe, Russia. The approach of the Hong Kong government regarding fraud is evident by the report is that it's enough to warn the public to stay vigilant when dealing with cryptocurrency investment offers and take action only against actual crime. I agree with that. And unlike other governments in the region, Hong Kong sees no need to create regulations to limit the legitimate use of Bitcoin. It considers the current legal and regulatory provisions relating to fraud and other crimes to be wide enough to catch offenses, whether involving cryptocurrencies or not. Bravo, Hong Kong. Hong Kong gets it. And this is we're starting to see a trend here, because the other days I was reading about Different government entities that are also stating the same thing. The FTC that's stating we should not get in the way of innovation with Bitcoin. We should not limit our citizens. We can protect them without inhibiting them. And then it looked like the SEC seems to be starting to follow suit. So I like this new trend of what's taking place. All right, let's go on to the next article. Something popped up that caught my attention. What if Mark Zuckerberg was actually human? What do you mean? This is not from a crypto link. All right, I don't care about that article. Okay, let's go on to Goldman Sachs. Now, remember the very first article I read, those of you that came on late and you missed it? Talking about Rubini that calls Bitcoin and blockchain bull shit? Well, Goldman Sachs clearly doesn't agree with him. So I'm going to put this link in the article. And if you came on late, definitely you want to go back to the beginning of this because you missed out. Goldman Sachs will launch a Bitcoin trading desk. Okay, Rubani, if Bitcoin was nothing, then why is this taking place? Why do they see value in it? Goldman Sachs will launch a Bitcoin trading desk, the investment banking giant confirmed on Wednesday. So this is not rumor, they confirmed it. The New York Times reports that the firm, one of the largest financial institutions in the United States, is preparing to begin using its own funds to sponsor a variety of investment contracts tied to the Bitcoin price and hopes to eventually trade physical Bitcoins directly. The bank has been rumored to have been planning to set up a cryptocurrency trading desk since last December, but executives and spokespeople claimed that those reports were false. Indeed, as recently as April 23rd, when the bank hired cryptocurrency trader Justin Smith, the bank claimed that it had not yet reached a conclusion on the scope of their digital asset offering. However, the bank has now confirmed that it will begin offering its clients a type of futures contract called a non-deliverable forward that will be linked to Bitcoin, an asset which Goldman CEO Lloyd Blankfein called a vehicle to perpetuate fraud last November. So you're seeing all of these guys, Jamie Dimon, Lloyd Blankfein, in 2017, they were all against Bitcoin, yet in behind the scenes, they were preparing for it for their company. And now they're publicly coming out saying, oh, yeah, we're going to do it. Don't listen to what I said last year, but we're going to do it. Rana Yared, a Goldman executive who saw the creation of the Bitcoin trading desk, told the publication that most of the people involved with the operation remain skeptical of cryptocurrency, as they should. She says, I would not describe myself as a true believer who wakes up thinking Bitcoin will take over the world, she said. For almost every person involved, there has been personal skepticism brought to the table. And you know what? They're looking at this wrong. Because I don't wake up in the morning thinking Bitcoin will take over the world. I wake up in the morning thinking blockchain is going to take over the world. If you're educated in this space, you know what I mean by that. Nevertheless, the bank received enough interest from hedge funds, endowments, and other institutional investors that its board of directors voted to approve the move that will see it become the first major U.S. bank to use its own funds to trade cryptocurrencies or cryptocurrency derivatives. You see that? Now, what do you think happens with competition? If they're going to be the first bank, what do you think the other banks are going to do? If they want to stay relevant, they're going to follow suit and do the same thing. Says, it resonates with us when a client says, I want to hold Bitcoin or Bitcoin futures because I think it is an alternative store of value, Yared says. So in other words, they're listening to their customers. Eventually, the bank hopes to receive regulatory approval from the Federal Reserve and state-level authorities to begin trading actual Bitcoins, ironically referred to as physical Bitcoins. Really? I haven't heard of that term. Physical Bitcoins. A development that will undoubtedly cement the flagship cryptocurrency status as a mainstream financial asset. It is not a new risk that we don't understand, Yared said of trading Bitcoin. It's just a heightened risk that we need to be extra aware of here. I like that statement. That statement makes perfect sense. And again, I go back to what I said at the very beginning, because I started off with a gentleman who is a professor at New York University who's been negative against Bitcoin since 2014. That if you are negative about Bitcoin right now and cryptocurrency and the blockchain technology, and you have not done extensive research on it, you're just ignorant. If you have done extensive research on cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, Bitcoin, just as, and I believe Bitcoin is only going to become a store of value. It's going to be the digital version of gold, that there's going to be other cryptocurrencies that will be used more as transactions, as currency. That's my own personal belief. But if after all the research you've done and you still come out and say that it's a fraud, it's a scam, it's worthless, there's no value behind it, it's a bubble that's going to pop, it's tulip mania. If you still say that after you've done your research, then you're just stupid and on the wrong side of history, and you will be proven so in the very near future, if not right now. Because it is impossible for you to have a basic intelligence, go through the research, and still come out and say, oh, there's nothing to this. It's impossible. At least Warren Buffett says, I don't invest in things I don't understand, and I don't understand cryptocurrency. Therefore, I'm not going to invest in it. It's too speculative for me. I respect that. At least admit you don't know what's going on. But if you can stand there and say, yeah, I did all the research, and yeah, I still think it's a scam. Yeah, you keep saying that. Facebook's going to pop up your statements 3 years from now because it remembers everything. Like I always get a slap in the face every year when I posted back in 2014. Oh yeah, my business partner Tracy Consoli in Japan, in Tokyo, is the first to have a Bitcoin ATM machine. Did I do anything? Did I buy Bitcoin back then? No. My life would be completely different right now if I did. Back in 2014. I started hearing about it really in 2013. Didn't do anything about it. I am not letting that pass by today, which is also why Cryptogenics is here. We are here to bring education to the masses. My own research has taught me, before there ever was a Cryptogenics, that cryptocurrency represents the greatest economic shift in wealth in the history of mankind for the most amount of people. We have 2 billion unbanked people around the world. And all you need is to have access to the internet to participate. The second conclusion that I came up with, that's been verified by others, is that blockchain technology is the greatest invention to mankind since the internet, and is going to have the biggest impact on human society since the introduction of agriculture. And again, if you don't know your history, if you don't know what a ledger system is, what the first ledger system was, what the 2 ledger system that we're currently using right now, and what blockchain technology is bringing to the table, if you don't understand that, then what I just said is going to go right over your head. You're not going to get it. You're not going to understand it. You're not going to understand why that is so important. Which leads to the last thing that I say. When people say, why cryptogenics? Whether you like it or not, whether you believe in it or not, whether you understand it or not, blockchain technology will take over the world. If you want to survive and, more importantly, thrive the rest of this century, you better have a basic understanding of what this is and how to navigate the space and make it work in your behalf. Because it will be forced upon you when you start waking up seeing Bitcoin ATM machines all over the place. When your company says we're now moving to blockchain technology to keep store of our records, to do business. when all the banks are now using it for their transactions because it's faster and cheaper and it eliminates human error. You eliminate the third party and the middleman. When this is happening all around you and you realize you missed the boat. See, I was always taught that we are currently teaching our kids in college for a world that will no longer exist by the time they graduate. A new world is coming upon us. Things are going to come in place that we haven't even thought of. New inventions, new technology, new companies. The richest companies in the world are in their infancy stage right now. We haven't heard of yet. Think about the time before you heard of Facebook, or before you heard of Amazon, or before you heard of Alibaba, and where those companies are today. Companies that are going to be bigger than those companies are going to exist because of blockchain technology. And if you're smart enough, you'll know when to invest in them. That's why cryptogenics. And if not, go ahead and go to YouTube and do your own research. Good luck with that. Tonight, for those of you that are still curious, you don't, what's so different about cryptogenics and all those companies in 2017 that came and went? You want to know what the difference is? Hop on my presentation tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, on www.kgxglobal.info. www.kgxglobal.info. And I will break it down for you. What's our biggest risk? I'll tell you up front, $300. Not $5,000, not $20,000. And I'll show you, because what did I say about my rules for engagement in crypto space? Always get your return on investment as fast as possible. I'll show you how you can get that back in your first 24 hours. So now you got your crypto education for free. And when you're educated on something, nobody can take it away from you. It's priceless. Made me a small fortune in a short period of time. Or you can sit on the sidelines and watch it happen. Not going to bother me. So with that, thank you guys for joining us today. I will see you later on tonight. Late night crypto talk, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Oh, no, wait. I will be doing late night crypto talk at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then I will be doing the cryptogenics presentation at 9 p.m. Eastern. See you all tonight. God bless. Bitcoin Brandon out. Bye-bye.